the fight. He throws the barrel down. Rainover is in trouble. It's going to have the support of Febiven, and now Diamondprox is on the wrong side of the jungle. Let's see, can Hooney find him out? Diamond may need to sacrifice himself, and he's got himself a little bit of quiet to start recalling.
Oh, he has to run. If he gets tagged right there, he can't suicide anymore.
Well, no tag from Preyseeker.
Oh, he could base right there, actually.
He's going to force to either recall or just get dropped by the Nexus turret. So, Diamond technically wins the trade with Rainover, but has to give up his life for staying too deep.
Now let's take it back to what actually happened. Yes, Diamondprox wins that extended engage, but as we saw earlier, Febiven chunked out Betsy in the mid lane. Betsy had to use his potion very early, wasn't sustainable enough. His lane was pushing back as well. He couldn't join that fight first, so it doesn't matter, because when both junglers are fighting each other, the first mid laner to help generally snowballs that fight, forced Diamondprox out, didn't drop a kill, didn't drop first spot, but lost a lot of tempo.
We'll see whether or not that comes back to hurt Diamondprox. Marginally behind Rainover, both of them going for the Skirmisher Sabres. As we've seen, even CS in the AD carry slot, Febiven with a small advantage middle. And this is the lane that I'm most interested in. Cabo shot against Hooney, Rise and Choker.
Well, Rise is what they call a ticking time bomb, so it's fine for him to be even on CS. Let me see Romeo's little daughter. The pip cam. But on the bot lane, 36 CS even square. That's impressive, because if you get pushed into the tower repetitively, then you're expected to drop a lot of CS. Pepper goes in, shift from Reckless with respect.
Move buff donated to Febiven as well, so we will keep our eyes on that ticking time bomb. It has the potential to explode once Caboshot gets a few more items. And we saw the Tia into Rod of Ages being the sort of de facto yesterday. We'll see if they continue to play the same.
Both teams, or neither team, is actually pressured by time all too much. We can wait for the on the hunt power spike when they start grouping. Rise is still the late game carry. At the same time, Fnatic, Azir, we've seen it before, can carry these late game team fights with Emperor's Divide. Febiven got his blue buff, whereas Diamondprox took it for himself. So Betsy, we've said this before, he gets less resources from his team in terms of CS share post 15 minutes, in terms of jungle attention. It's quite starved usually. Still even right now, even though the discrepancy in blue buffs. Rainover finds that pink ward.
Round number 2 between Diamond and Rainover. Rainover's going to tunnel himself out.
Because Betsy is here first.
Got the support from the mid laner, so a slightly different fight, but we could see some engages happen. Febiven knocks Betsy into the river. Betsy does not have access to Spirit Rush yet. Orbit Deception goes up. Betsy still not level 6. Rainover's got the support of Hooney, as another flash from Diamondprox keeps him alive. Fnatic invested a lot. They don't get the kills, but they're clearly in control of the pressure.
This is the first time I've seen Emperor's Divide push somebody over that wall, setting up almost a double knockup combo. Rainover eventually flashed over, and Hooney, he followed up. So that play was called in advance. Hooney didn't magically arrive there. He walked down from the top lane. So Fnatic, they were planning something, and this is why they're lauded as one of the best teams in the European League, because they play with all their resources in sync. Yes, there's a fight in the mid lane. Hooney, can you walk down? Yes, alright, calm down. Force some flashes.
We've got both of them. So Diamond and Betsy without summoners. Hooney teleports his way back to the top lane, and Cabo's running. So TP advantage to Caboshot's Rise and Gambit.
This is the cost for that play. If you move away from your lane will be pushed in, it will bounce back. This gives you the enemy top laner time to base, and then catch that wave that just bounced back all the way instead of using his teleport. So while that seemed good for Fnatic at first, as you said, teleport advantage for Gambit in a composition with Sivir could be crucial.
We'll have to keep an eye on that Sivir Alistair lane. Forgiven has been shoving it relatively aggressively, however, not chunked too much hit points off that bottom lane tower, so we'll keep a close eye on how the tower's played. But Crepper, we're 8 minutes in, and both teams fairly content to play the farming game. Also, I want to note, Diamond's actually invading on the Gragas, something we didn't see him do on the Evelynn last week.
And definitely Diamondprox putting a lot more pressure, I like it. Going back to the bot lane, Forgiven just based for BF Sword, Long Sword, and a couple of potions in response to the Sheen from Reckless. If it's an extended trade, Forgiven will definitely get the better of that. If it's short poke trades, Ezreal can shift out Boomerang Blade, land a couple of Mystic shots in succession, proccing that Sheen on every trade. But level 6, you might see some action from this Gambit bot lane. Good black shields will be required.
So, Ghostly Pepper and Yellow Star very, very close to level 6. We'll see whether or not those fights take place.
Look at Rainover. He's trying to get behind Cabashard in the top lane.
Well, I think he's got the tools to do so. No flash, but he's just going to tunnel over. Huni has actually got poked backwards. That's the flash from Cabashard. He still gets knocked up anyway, and Rainover alone chunks a large amount of Cabashard out. But the moment Rainover showed top, Gambit started dragging.
But look, Rainover uses ulti. He's still on full resources. I don't think Gambit added this into the equation.
We'll find out. There's no soul shackles here for Yellow Star. 2 members of Gambit inside.
Pulverize was used.
Trying to find and engage. Double flash. Respect.
Because Cabashard joined the party. If we go back a couple of minutes, that teleport advantage comes in. Aggressive Gambit. Aggressive Diamond Clocks, and the first dragon goes down for Gambit.
Very well played from Gambit. Team at the bottom of the standings. Showing up in the early game against Fnatic. Got their first dragon, and they're dealing with the pressure appropriately. Also on par with their average first dragon times as well.
And delaying Fnatic's first dragon, which is very important.
So let's take stock. With the dragon and the teleport now down for Cabashard, Fnatic will be timing that. Huni's getting closer to his. He's going to steal away this blue buff. Let's feast if he needs to. That's a resource denial at the very least, but it meant Gambit got dragon.
Yeah, trading in minor objectives on Fnatic's side. They take a blue buff, take a couple of waves of extra CS, a little bit of turret pressure on the top lane. Huni staying in that lane. We'll see if Huni can capitalize on his teleport advantage. We saw Gambit do it first. Can Huni repeat it?
Well, Fnatic have shown that they can play from behind. 2 games out of the 3 that they've won, they sort of fell behind a few thousand gold, needed to play with a little bit of defensive stats. This time round, at 10 minutes, they've actually got a 1,000 gold lead. So that little bit of extra farming time from the previous dragon seems to have benefited Fnatic, and it's mostly concentrated in Huni with that 20 CS advantage.
For all you economists out there, hang on, Featherman takes a little bit of a charm. In terms of support gold, we don't get much, so we have to get the coin upgrade here on Yellow Star. He's already 100 gold ahead. Goes to Pepper. Keeping track of that. Writing it down.
Relic Shield versus the Nomad Medallion, the Ancient
Was buffed.
Coin. Was buffed in 510. 1 additional gold from the base, and also at rank 2 additional mana and HP as well.
And the best kind of gold. Gold that you don't have to end anything. Just watch those minions die.
Especially because you can do it from further away.
Yeah.
One of the other buffs on 510.
Pepperman pressured in. Betsy doing well in this matchup.
All of that from the charm earlier. Featherman was pressuring Betsy in the early game.
And if we go back to that gank where Huni walked down, a good charm from Betsy there again, getting some tower shots on Featherman. So definitely even matchup here. Counter pick working out so far. Only 7 CS differential, but there's pressure. And I want to see Gambit use this pressure. We said it before. They had the triple push against Elements, but Diamond Prox wasn't invading. He wants revenge right now.
Something else that we also have to touch on, the fact that Diamond is working his way towards that Cinderhulk. Going to come up against the Warrior Enchant Rainover. So the tankiness that Alistair, Gragas are going to start developing as this game continues to play out will definitely work in Gambit's favor with the Sivir, with the Rise, who won extended fights.
Yeah, Rek'Sai pretty squishy early on. If she goes for the Warrior Enchantment, especially if you look at Fnatic's entire lineup, spells out more Kite, more walking backwards, throwing out skill shots repetitively, dark bindings, mystic shots, Azir poking, staying on the safety of your tower. The tower's down, resurrect a new one with Azir's passive. So might want to see Rainover actually get a little more tanky, soak up the damage, facilitate the Kite. Or Fnatic might just turn it all around and just go all in.
Just something they've done multiple times.
Zero hesitation.
You see Featherman in this middle lane. Dodges the charm. Charm is down! He gets Betsy under the tower! If that wasn't a Shurima shuffle, I don't know what is, but Betsy decides he wants a piece of more. Goes in with Spirit Rush. Doesn't connect Orbit Deception. Flash is available for Rainover, and he doesn't manage to pick it up this time round.
I feel he could have maybe gone for that if they timed the knockup from Rainover into the follow-up from Huni, into Silence, into Feast. Cabashard did not have Flash. Maybe Fnatic didn't time it properly because Cabashard's Flash is almost on.
Not this time round. Conquering Sands goes out there from Featherman. Doesn't connect on
Tremor senses spotting out Diamond Clocks. And we saw why Betsy liked the Ahri pick into the Azir, because he has 3 dashes. If one of them fails or gets used offensively, at least he can pivot around the wall and get out of there. Get out of that tower range quickly before taking too many tower shots.
Well, a lot of votes in favor of Fnatic once more. Definitely the fan favorites for an extended period of time, 78%. But Fnatic only marginally ahead. 14 minutes in, they're a dragon down. 1 minute 30 before the next one spawns. CS advantage top though, which is continuing to play into whose favor.
Silence comes out into the Rupture. That's what Cho'Gath wants to do. Rupture is easily dodged, or flash, but if you can silence, then Rupture ahead of your opponent. Either he'll get hit by the Rupture or juke back into your jungler, following up. Rupture lands.
Well, this time around it does.
Silence lands.
Silence come out as well. Rainover's looking for another knockup. Cabashot instantly flashing. First blood to Rainover, and that just looked really quite easy.
And finally, Fnatic pieced together the puzzle with Diamond procs. He wants revenge on the bot lane. Reckless Flash is up though.
Well, Yellow Star does not manage to get off the Black Shield. That's very, very late. Gosu Pepper throws down the Unbreakable Will. He's in fact been exhausted, as has Reckless. Rainover was trying to cut off Diamond, and Reckless gets the second kill of the game. Diamond made it out.
And this is why Rek'Sai was banned so often in the European LCS, because we just saw her get a kill on top lane, and immediately she was already part of that fight on the bot lane, combined with Huni's teleport. Fnatic moving their resources all over the map, but now crucial, teleport advantage on Cabashard yet again. In Gambit, they will need to answer.
We'll see how they decide to do that. But again, small plays, small advantages, and small leads to Fnatic. Doesn't have level 11, he's going in for Betsy. Betsy gets knocked under the tower once more. It's the same combo.
What a fantastic binding from Yellowstar. Read the play by Febvy, and Febvy said, hey, look at this, I'm gonna go in, shuffle him back, prep your binding. This is synergy, they've done this before. This is not the first time they've played these champions together.
And now we see why Azir has been banned against Febvy in several events. Yellowstar might be finding himself between a fat man and an angry bull. Pulverized, barrel back and head butted for further distance. That's going to be a dead Yellowstar. Just checking the wrong bush, I'm afraid.
Face checking brushes is dangerous on Summoner's Rift. Good punish by Gambit there. They also took down a bottom tower. Forgiven has a 20 CS lead right now. Try for spike for Reckless though. And we have a pause.
We'll see exactly what the problem is in a moment or two. But let's quickly summarize where we are in the game. Again, 1,000 gold lead for Fnatic. 3 kills to 1. Dragon's coming up very soon. But it's Huni that's got the earlier Rod of Ages, and Cabashot going with the same item build that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, now going back to champs, like we said, there are 2 ways to try and shut down a Rise. Either you go for the jungler top laner synergy combo, which we see in the combined knockups coming out of Rek'Sai and Cho'Gath, or you lane swap. Fnatic opted for the normal lanes. Took them a while to piece together that combo, but eventually they got it. And Cabashard fell, but he did a good job dodging it. Only down 30 CS.
I'm not sure it's enough. Seeing how powerful Rise is, and seeing
Huni came back for more. So Huni was down 0-2, starved in CS, and magically became this one-man army later in the game anyways.
Well, I guess that's a very valid point. If there's anybody that's going to know how to play against the Rise, it's going to be Huni, because Rise was down, or Huni was down yesterday. Just quick update, it is Gosu Pepper having a problem with his in-game chat. So the guys are on the matter.
Yeah, I've seen this problem before. Back when we played against Gambit, whenever we got onto a computer that they had used, a lot of the Russian players swap their minimap and chat location around, and then when you swap it back, you lose your chat box. And you generally don't notice when you're warming up, but then you get on stage and you try to time something and there's no chat. And you panic, where's my chat? And then you ask the referee and it's like, oh, how don't you know? You've done this before. And then they swap it up and they fix it for you. Well, maybe that problem.
There we go. We'll find out. We'll get that confirmed in a moment or two. I can see Gosu Pepper connecting and reconnecting. But very even, very close, very tense. In a matchup that was top of the table, bottom of the table. What a difference Gambit can look like when they have a team composition that makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah, a lot of people would have written off Gambit based on the standings here. I've done it before. Writing off Gambit when they're down and they're playing top team. And I've always been wrong. So from that moment onwards, never again. Ferocious Gambit coming out. Aggression, sometimes a little ill-advised, but I want to have them go too far forward and too far backward. If that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense, and we'll see if Gambit can use that too far forward mentality to help push Fnatic. Take a look at your items really quickly. Cabashot eats a Rupture and Feral Scream, and that's a lot of damage. But Hex Drinker for Rainover, as you mentioned, Trinity Force for Reckless. versus the IH. So I think there's a small item advantage if Fnatic can make use of it, and we'll see whether they do.
Yeah, a bit of a spike on the Triforce here, but Given does get his Avarice IH, as you said. Bam Scepter too, because he can sustain. Now I'm trying to see, or trying to deduce why Huni would go for this Cho'Gath, and it looks like once this fight starts and Ryze eats one crowd control effect, Huni will immediately flash, silence, feast, and that should be enough to either get the new Ryze, who is very squishy, but does a lot of damage, down. And that's the way they want to do it. Trade offensive summers from Huni. Yes, he might die in the process, but if you can take out the Ryze, then a big part of your problems are solved. And I'm really looking forward to these team fights. It's going to be very interesting to see how Fnatic plays them. Forward, backward, are you going to kite or just all in, take out the priority targets and try to survive afterwards? How is Gambit going to use their ability? A lot of questions.
We'll find out soon. We did see Fnatic trading, or securing rather, their first tower. They had lost their bottom lane tower. And it looks like Diamond is going to try sneak this dragon. They've got great vision in and around the river. He snuck over through the wall. It doesn't look like Fnatic are aware of this one.
And then Betsy covering in the bottom lane as well. He's very quick at moving from bot to the dragon if something happens. Reignover though. Huh? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He's just going for the gank on Betsy on the bot lane, and dragon alright goes down. Everybody hears that the dragon has been slain.
But it cost them a tower. Fnatic take the middle turret as well as the top one. So now tower advantage and an even larger goal, the 3,000 Crepo.
Almost a swapped scenario of Gambit against Elements, where Gambits were the ones taking towers left, right, and center, but giving up the neutral objectives and more so the kills. Betsy.
I think he's in trouble, Crepo.
I think so too.
What CC can land? Soul Shackles comes out. I think he broke the tether though. Not going to be enough.
Yeah, Reignover with a beautiful flash knockup after the first Spirit Rush was used, solidifying that kill. He knew if he waited any longer. Look at Betsy, still has his flash, but that knockup came in the right time. 3 people hitting him. Even if he flashes afterwards, some damage would hit him. And this is why Reignover is, yeah, one of the best, if not the best jungler, just like Diamond Proc said in the feature. He has a lot of respect for Reignover, rightfully so.
I think it's fair to say that there are very few junglers in Europe who have the same level of impact every game that Reignover does. I'm hard pressed to think of a game where Reignover has not done similar things, as Fnatic look to secure one more tower. Cheeky yellow star just on the outer edge of range.
And picks up the gold though. Yellow Star is now 1,200 gold ahead of Gosu Pepper.
2 additional towers, 2 additional assists.
No one's medallion.
Nomads as well. I'm going to take a look at the total gold earned. It's sitting around 700. Currently gold shared on Relic Shield, 230. Very big difference. Gosu not landing as many last hits as he would want to.
However, Yellow Star obviously invested more gold into upgrading that Nomad's Medallion, of course, as well. 80 carries. Even though there's more global gold on the side of Fnatic, bang on even with a slight edge even towards Forgiven. I'm not surprised. Always been very good at farming.
But that's what Reckless said. Too focused on lane, not the game. And let's see if this translates. I think Forgiven's going to get very close to getting that static shift, sitting at 900 at the moment. It's a couple hundred away, and then we'll see where they apply their pressure.
Now a lot of players wonder why Static Shift, not Phantom Dancer, because it seems a lot more efficient, has better stats in the long term. However, you have to remember that Average Blade speeds up your third item. Yes, you get the extra gold. You get the extra gold on Average Blade, then you get Shift, which costs less overall as a Phantom Dancer, and allows you to transition quicker into your third item, Lost Whisper or BT, whatever you prefer, and just get you that extra little spike earlier in the game.
So we've just hit 20 minutes, Crepo. Betsy lands another great charm. He's going in on Reckless. Reckless manages to Arcane Shift, but needed to blow the heal. But tower secured there in favor of Gambit. That's number 2. The rest of Gambit were looking top, and you can see Cabo's got teleport as well.
Yeah, Betsy playing forward. A lot of aggression, a lot of pressure. Yes, he's 0-2, but I feel it's okay. He traded those kills. In return, he put a lot of pressure on the map. He was mid, he was bot. He's drawing members from Fnatic away, giving breathing room for that Rise to scale, for Forgiven to farm up, hit his item spikes, and eventually Gambit will group, and then I want to see how they use On the Hunt as a team.
Not group for it yet. 22 minutes in. I know we keep talking about the time, but this has really just been a very, very farm-centric game.
But at least they're rotating. They're going for objectives, towers, dragons. By no means has been a boring game.
I also want to highlight again 4 sweepers this time for Gambit. Only Forgiven not running the sweeper, and we've got some upgraded trinkets on the side of Fnatic. So different approaches to your trinkets. And we'll see whether or not Forgiven and the rest of Gambit can deny the vision. Fnatic trying to hold on top.
Yeah, Huni with the Morel and Omicron Sword Shoes. He's sitting on 40% of CDR as well. His spells will go down incredibly low cooldowns. One Rupture can come out every 5.5 seconds. Huni can now silence every 8 seconds too.
And all
So a lot of crowd
wave
control.
well.
Yeah, waves only come every 30 seconds, so Huni's spells will definitely be in time for those. Things going on the bot lane. We're going to see some action. Reckless caught.
Well, does manage to flash away. Here comes Rain over. That's a flash forward from Cabo Shot. The knocker keeps Cabo Shot in place. A silence onto Diamond. They've traded 1 for 1. But Huni needed his teleport for that, so advantage Gambit.
Definitely advantage Gambit. Cabo Shot yet again with the teleport advantage. Will Gambit use it? Because this gives more breathing room in the top lane. They were defending this tower, remember. Yes, you traded 1 kill for 1 kill. Flash was used on Reckless as well. Tower for Gambit. Teleport advantage for Gambit. Slowly evening out this game.
Did not quite expect this level of strategic play from Gambit. And they made use of the TP advantage previously. They'll need to do the same because Cabo's down and they've still got a deficit to claw back from.
Yeah, I'll start going for the CDR boots, Talisman of Talisman rather, the new Shirelias from back in the day, and rather than the Righteous Glory, because Talisman allows you to move defensively, whereas Righteous Glory only gets used offensively. And we said it before, the lineup for Fnatic wants to kite, and they might need that little extra nudge, that little extra speed boost, because on the hunt on Gambit's side obviously increases the movement speed of all the champions by quite a lot. Talisman of Ascension.
Oh, I wasn't going to call you out for that one, but I'm glad you looked it up. As we can see it on the pause screen, tanky stats finally been picked up for Rainover. And this is just, it feels like this is going to explode.
We're building up the tension.
As we've got a lot of tension built up, a lot of items built up. You can see Huni's rod is completely stacked, getting there for Cabo. And yeah, you know, CS advantage kills a global gold advantage, but there's the tanky stats that we touched on.
Yeah, definitely. Tanky stats picked off for Rainover. He went that warrior, as you said before. But notice that he needed some defense. Usually see it early random in his Omen, but goes for the hybrid offense defense in the Hex Drinker. Picks up a Spectre Scowl, now a Giant's Belt, Ruby Crystal. He's sitting on a lot of gold. Just gonna take a look at my screen here and see just how far ahead of Diamond Proxy he is. 800 gold in the lead. So there's a lead on the jungler that's marginal. Big lead on the support. 1,300 gold. Yellow Star is now ahead.
You know, something else we've also got to talk about, if we step back and we look at Fnatic as a team, their playstyle this game has drastically changed. You know, previously they've been very, very aggressive in your face, and now they're playing a very strategic, tactical game. We'll expand on that idea in a second. I just want to call up a replay that we've got queued up of Febiven's Azir. Just how...
Yeah, what's your minimap right now? Yellow Star's coming in. See the soldiers? He knows that Febiven's gonna go for this move. Black Shield goes out on Febiven as well. Good player as he is, he didn't even need it because he sidestepped the charm, but you see this is perfectly in sync. There's so many layers to this play that make it so awesome, because that binding from Yellow Star was shot out before or while Febiven was making that move, and it made it very hard for Betsy to predict. And beautiful combo, and I like things like this. You know, back in the season where Nif landed that threshold on the kick from Shook, you know, those little plays that are really, either people call them lucky, but let's just call them predicted, and, you know, working together, and it just shows a certain amount of synergy within the teams, and I really like seeing that stuff. Definitely the case. So well played there by Fnatic. They have earned this 3,000 gold lead they've built up, but again, you know, to the play style, tempered aggression. Calculated. That's a better word for it, because it's only been on that rise, really, where Rainover has focused his priority and used that Void Rush for when pressure's applied elsewhere. Yeah, and he kept Cabochard down. Yes, he only killed him once, but I mean, Huni hasn't died in this lane, and if we go back to all the Rise games we've seen so far, usually around this level 9 spike that Stress pointed out at the Telestrator earlier, Rise now level 13, usually people start dying left, right, and center, and this Rise gets rolling, but Huni playing pretty well defensively overall. Well, we'll have to see whether or not this
Cho'Gath works out. I think it's working a lot better than it has in the past. When Febiven ran it, they did a lane swap and it didn't really work out. And, Cho'Gath kind of appeared out of nowhere at the end of spring and disappeared just as quickly. And this is the first time that we're seeing it here in summer.
Yeah, Cho'Gath top lane has been played in the past. You do very high amounts of sustain.
Yeah.
And those little spikes he puts out on the minions that he can toggle, allowing for very easy push. And then his passive allowed him to regen a lot over time. That's why he was initially played. But now he's more of an anti-mage. He's going to land the silence. One of the few silences left in the game. And people forget that effect sometimes. Back in the day when you played against a lot of fiddlesticks, Caston, okay, silence, that's a mechanic. I know you barely get silenced anymore. You're pressing all those buttons and you don't know what's going on. Why are my spells not working? Why is my screen grey all of a sudden? Questions I ask myself every time. Still looking for those answers.
Caboshot's going to have to find an answer. He's got that Seraph's Embrace upgraded. Dragon.
Folks going in. Reckless hiding in plain sight. Gets caught. Double knockup. Forgiven with the dunk.
1, 2, 3. Reckless is down. And now Gambit have started Dragon.
So let's talk about this play, right? The binding play with the Shurima shuffle that I like, that was coordinated. Reckless was hiding on a ward. Diamond Crux says, okay guys, watch this. Body slam, explosive cat. Edwards reacts immediately with a knockup, and then Forgiven comes in and finishes him off without using flash. That was beautiful.
So excellently played by Gambit, and with their third consecutive Dragon in the game. It doubled their numbers of dragons for the split. Bebevin's going to try survive this one. He's going to use the Conquering Shifting Sands over the wall. Flash for flash. Black Shield comes up, but it's not enough. Yellowstar has landed the Binding and the Soul Shackles. He's going to hold Betsy in place. We've seen the Nomad's Medallion giving the movement speed from the Talisman, rather. And it's going to be Reignover that secures the final hit. 1 for 1. But Gambit were the ones initiating.
Betsy with the aggression, the bravado for making that play, holding his spells until the right moment, forcing the flash, then chasing after. Let's see that again. Reckless going in. Body slam. Almost wears off. Nope. Cast comes in. Almost wears off. Flash from Edward. From Ghost Pepper now. Really want to highlight just that little nudge. On the hunt. A little closer. But I want to highlight how solid that flash was. If he waited any longer to walk close and pulverize, Reckless could have potentially flashed out or dashed out at least, but Edward, realizing that was the case, goes for the Q flash pulverize all in, and beautiful combination from Gambit.
Into the waiting hands of Forgiving.
Thank you.
And that's what started it all. Then Betsy with the follow-up. We saw the Ari into Azia, and it worked for him this time. Gambit, the strongest performance they've had all summer, and then, as I was mentioning, 3 dragons this game. They'd only secured 3 in their previous games. Getting closer to that ever-powerful 5-dragon buff. Diamond Crocs gonna knock Yellowstar and Reckless apart. Yellow does have flash available. Going in on Gosu, but no super engaged yet. There's Unbreakable Will. Engage will disengage.
Yeah, very good game so far. Very enjoyable game to watch. Action here and there, pushes here and there, rotations.
Gragas, Diamond Crocs rather, not hesitating on those explosive casts. When an opportunity's there, he throws it down.
Definitely does. I'd rather see him go too far forward than too far backward, and balancing on a knife's edge here. Gambit still down, but refusing to give up. Never give up, never surrender used to be a motto of Moscow 5 back in the day.
From the previous split, their previous coach Leviathan taught them it's a process. I need to keep working through. Gosu was going to be a little careful. No Unbreakable Will, so Huni could have nommed him if any of those ruptures had connected.
Caboshard. Archangel Staff finished. Rod of Ages finished. Working on those Mercury threats to reduce that silence duration. He's knocking on the bottom tower. Huni doesn't quite want to TP out because he
no TP
doesn't have it yet. Are we going to see a Panic Baron by Fnatic?
Panic or strategic? That will be the question. TP is available.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Moving their way, but Caboshard hasn't left yet.
He has teleport.
This is secured.
This is secured.
Too late.
Beast.
Wow.
I would call this a strategic Baron, Trevor.
Caboshard still not teleporting. Fnatic now looking for the fight. Yellowstar, Soul Shackles on Diamond. And he body slams his way out. Forgiven's coming with On the Hunt. I think that just wore off as Reignover now forced to get back. Caboshard still trying to push that bottom turret. He's not going to be able to get it. And Fnatic with a flawless Baron secure.
They definitely have the tools to finish this Baron. Remember, Hooney's Feast deals more damage than Smite at this point in the game. They secured it beautifully together. Rain over Smite. It's up again. Kawashar didn't get enough. He's not that traditional top laner split pusher that can take down towers, take down champions, but Rise still slow on these towers because his basic attacks don't scale up the ability power that you get. A lot of these champions, when they're hitting inhibitors and the like, they get a partial component of their ability tower in their auto attack damage against structures. You see, Rise doesn't build that much AP.
Small resets on the buffs, but no real impact. And then we see those Merc traits picked up for Rise as well as the distortion boots. So TPs and flashes are plenty. Make their way back in.
And most importantly, a little speed boost as well after using the flash.
If the silver speed boost wasn't enough.
If for some reason Forgiven's not there, if he's, say, farming a bot lane, farming your jungle, something, you have your miniature on the...
That's something we have to highlight. Forgiven at 29 minutes is 330 CS. He's about 2,000 gold, just under 2,000 gold ahead of Reckless. The farming machine can farm on Sivir. And remember, first time this year on Sivir.
Teams rotating a little bit. The Baron buff facilitates pushes as we've seen before. I think they'll take one tower. Can I take more? That's the question.
4-1 push, Crepo. Fnatic up top. They've got Hooney down bottom.
Flying threat from Diamond Prox and Gosu Pepper though. Don't want to come from the front. We've seen this before. If you all come from the same angle, Azir is going to say thank you very much and push you back. Tower's dropping.
Black Shield's been used from Yellow Star. Tower's going down. Gambit unable to initiate. The flash pulverize comes down. They get Featherfin and Reckless. Reckless gets caught by the charm. He's taken out by Betsy. Here comes the teleport from Hooney. He's thrown down the silence and Diamond is knocked up. Keep your eyes on Camo Shot. He wants to clean up the fight. Reckless is down and Gambit are going to hold on to their base for now. Featherfin has also held on to Emperor's Divide. Not used it yet. Fnatic continuing to siege. Despite losing their AD carry, I take that back as they've backed away, secure the blue.
And that was a fantastic engage by Gosu Pepper. I think we'll see it later, just exactly what he did, because I definitely want to highlight the brilliance of that play. Gambit, they stopped Fnatic from taking the tower, from taking the inhibitor, with a bold move, a bold flank, and they read the situation perfectly, and they saw what they had to do. Emperor's Divide wasn't enough. Reckless got charmed in the wake of that pulverize as well. Diamond Prox looking for number 4. His Dragon Dinner.
No one here from Fnatic. Oh, I lied. They've caught Rain over.
Well, he came in.
The jungle, flashes to the tunnel, so at least he's made it out alive. No smites. I think that dragon should be secured by the time we look at it. No, not been focused down by Gambit. But nobody from Fnatic challenging Crepo. See whether or not they continue this. You can see Hooney was thinking about it, but too little and too late, and Fnatic lose their 4th dragon of the game.
Yeah, that definitely gives another win. Now, I just want you to watch Gosu Pepper here. He's going to go for the minion taxi into the pulverized flash, if I saw it right. I just want to see it again. He can't get to Feather in time. Goes to the minion, then double flash knockout. And I can't stress this enough. That was a beautiful play by Gosu Pepper. He realizes that he doesn't need to use the headbutt on his opponents. If he can just get in range with it, gets the maximum value out of it, and then combo with his flash. He flashed 2 targets. One flashes out defensively, the other eats a charm, and I would have loved to see him pick more of this Alistar, and this is why I love this champion. You can go in for these really solid plays, and then pop your Unbreakable will become indestructible. Fantastic play by Gosu Pepper.
Gambit now 1 dragon away from the buff that could help them win the game. Remember, they're still 6,000, 5,500 gold down. They've lost the Baron, but it's worn off for Fnatic.
On the hunt gets popped.
Given's looking for a target. We do see Ghost, who goes all the way forward, but Black Shield this time prevents it.
Yes, slow combo from Gosu Pepper there again. He wanted Yellow Star to Black Shield, Ezreal, Reckless, and then pulverize the ground after the Black Shield came down and get Yellow Star. Yellow Star, however, relied on Reckless saving his own hide and Black Shielding himself selfishly. More selfless supports could have died there, but beautiful read by both supports. Little intricacies like that, often missed.
And while that was going on, Fnatic got the bottom inner turret.
Good thing you're watching that, Trevor.
Hooney,
sometimes I get a little drifted away.
Doesn't have teleport though, Kavashar does. So let's see how Gambit play the map now that the game has sort of reset. And it's all about these next moves, these next decisions from both teams. The number 10 team in Europe is pushing Fnatic this hard.
600 ability power on Uni right now. Just gonna quickly check up how much damage that Feast does right now. Around 1,000.
Yeah, about 1,070.
1,070 true damage. Unblockable. Alright, Fnatic, that means only 1.6k damage more, and Rise will die.
Cabochard's got 2,600 HP.
Yep.
Forgiven's got 1,700 HP.
So yeah, Huni's Feast will definitely have to keep an eye out for that. See the difference. Suffice it to say, one full combo from Huni will almost kill any target on Fnatic's side, bar Reign over.
The next question is, what do Gambit do? What do Fnatic do when Gambit start the next dragon? It's 40 seconds till Baron.
Fight.
They've not done it yet. They've not even looked to. They don't have vision there either.
Gambit keeping up the pressure. Yet again, they're 6,000 gold down, but if you watch this game with the gold graph or the gold on the bottom on top of the screen covered, you would not think this game is 6,000 in the lead for Fnatic. They're on the back foot right now. Betsy offensive charms constantly, and a lot of them have connected this game.
Definitely have. Reckless and Feathervin fallen prey to Betsy's Ari. It hasn't been overwhelmingly game-changing, but it has certainly had an impact. Found key targets when it's needed to, and alleviated pressure for Gambit. Take a look at your items really quickly. Last Whisper, Bloodthirster. It's an aggressive build for Given, a defensive build from Reckless.
Definitely seeing these tendencies, how these both team fights, both team compositions rather, what they want to do. Gambit wants to pop on the hunt and dive in, go aggressive. Fnatic, they want to survive, cleanse, QSS, and the likes. No cleanse, so they have to buy it themselves. Oh yeah, the cleanse actually on for Vivian. I haven't seen him use it that much. Has it?
Knock up on Cabochard. Huni's flashed forward, but he's alone. Eats a charm instantly. Rest of Fnatic most likely not gonna get there in time. On the hunt comes out Rainover, gets rooted in place. Black
Cabochard.
Cabochard's found Yellowstar, but Reckless and Forgiven are alive. We do see Feathervin going back in with the concrete sand. Now Cabochard's knocked up. Huni looking for a target to feast. Can he find Cabochard? He's decided to turn around, and I think he feasted Diamond down. We see Gosu Pepper going out as Forgiven follows suit. Cabochard forced to run as Feathervin's sand soldiers are commanded to attack, and they take him down. Double kill, and Fnatic get a 4-for-1 fight.
Fantastic fight by both these teams. Huni was running around trying to catch somebody, barely got in range, but the remaining Fnatic members did such a great job at kiting, dodging the damage, staying alive in this fight. Good Emperor's Divide to reset the fight. Reckless uses entire mana pool in that fight, and all together there, and somehow Fnatic survived. And we've seen the clash of styles here, diving in against Kite. Fnatic, they got the better of that one, but it was close. It was oh so close.
What a important team fight for Fnatic. Here's the replay.
Let's watch that little slower. Bait from Fnatic. Huni flashes over. Silence barely misses. Watch the bottom side of the fight right now. See what Fnatic members do. Rainover gets snared, but he's the tankiest member. Flash still gets used defensive. Yellowstar not tanking, that's a support, that's okay. Emperor's Divide stops the combo of Diamond Prox and Betsy. Betsy flashes out of the Ezreal ultimate right here. Rainover goes in with a flash knockup. He's stalling for time. Unbreakable Will is running out, and you see they can't get past the Alistar, but eventually his ulti drops. Then Feathervin dashes in. Looking at Cabochard. He's done a lot of damage in return here. It's just not quite enough. And I want to say beautiful fight by both these teams.
And that's the styles, isn't it? Gambit wants to run at you as 5, and Fnatic's trying to peel and dance back. There they had enough time. Crepo, it is 10 seconds before Dragon is up. Baron buff is on Fnatic. And this Dragon is aspect levels for Gambit. Fnatic do not want to give it up.
And a lot less flashes in this fight, so the kite composition has a bit of an edge. This Gambit has a lot harder time to close the gap, so they kind of want to flank. Dimeprox giving up the dream of just going for the 50-50. Edward
Less than
for the flank.
Less than 50-50.
If Huni gets in range.
Find out if it can work. Huni does get knocked up here by Cabochard. Gambit seems to be peeling away. On the hunt was thrown down. It should be wearing off soon. Dragon still alive. It's busy chilling at the front of the pit. Has reset. Diamond eats a dark binding. And you can feel how important this objective is. The minimap is slowly pushing in favor of Fnatic towards Gambit's base.
Oh, we see the teleport. Did he switch to home guards? No, it's not.
Find out. Gambit are looking to engage
Rainover?
for Rainover. Rainover's flashed away. Diamond Proc's gonna body slam back. Now Huni looking for a rupture, does not connect with anybody, nor does the Feral Scream. It looks like Fnatic have control of the Dragon Pit, and they're going to secure their first Dragon of the game.
Yeah, Fnatic recognizing that you can punish Gambit if they get close to these choke points. We saw Triple Soldier in that choke point, zoning Rupture, zoning Silence in that choke point. If Gambit stepped in for Dragon, they would have gotten roasted, AoE'd, and they had to yield, give up this Dragon. In 6 minutes, they have another shot at becoming the first team in Europe so far to pick up that 5th Dragon.
Don't think Fnatic's gonna give them that chance. Fnatic's still like Barris.
Pepper going in.
Black Shield is going to keep Reckless alive, and Gosu's in trouble. He sidesteps the True Shot barrage, and skill shots go wide. Charm dodge, Dark Binding dodge. Gambit doing everything they can to survive here. Unbreakable is on cooldown. They've caught Rainover out, but he's happy to take shots because Fnatic have got the tower.
Get this tower. First Dragon does a lot for Fnatic at this point as well, especially if you're running a poke kite single position. On the Hunt gets popped.
Now remember, Betsy's not there. The explosive cask has been used, and that didn't do a lot. But props to Feberbin. Emperor's Divide, getting them out clean.
Good Black Shield by Yellowstar as well. Sending his teammate right there. Inhibitor doesn't drop, yet important. Gambit for the 2nd time, when they're close to losing in a tower slash inhibitor. They hang on, they survive, and Rise still has item slots. Get more scary and scary over time, but needs the resources to do so.
Rise's item slots powerful enough to come back from a 10k gold deficit.
Oh, after seeing yesterday, yes, yes they are. But Fnatic, they've obviously played a lot of Rise, and Huni, as Rainover said in his interview, played this champion maybe 30 games in a row, according to him. So if there's any team or player that knows the weaknesses potentially of Rise, definitely be a Fnatic.
And they seem to be playing around it so exceptionally well.
They always say offense is the best defense. Given staying true to that mantra, picking up a recurve bow, building his 5th offensive item.
So 40 minutes has just ticked over, Crapo. Leaning towards one of the longest games here in summer. Fnatic still, again, 10k gold lead. They've got the kill lead, the tower lead. They're behind in Dragons. That's the only metric, and the previous Dragon, the 5th Dragon that Gambit wanted, belonged to Fnatic.
But they're slowing down. Look how Fnatic is not spreading out their members because they're respecting Gambit's group potential with On The Hunt. Huni gets snared, takes some damage. Black Shield is popped. Poking back and forth, we're waiting for that one bind to land. Diamond Procs to find an opening, and then everything gets explosive again.
Righteous Glory is available for Gosu, as is Unbreakable Will and his Exhaust. Gosu's engages with those headbutts into Pulverize.
Diamond spotted on the flank, he's going in.
Well, we do see the Black Shield, this time not going to work. Yellowstar forced to go back with Emperor's Divide, says this lane is much thinner.
Haste is used on Alistar.
He's looking for the flank, doesn't find his target, and Rainover is now on the wrong side of the jungle. He's going to tunnel away. That's a flash forward for Diamond Procs. He really wants Rainover's hide, and Explosive Pepper headbutts him to another tunnel. Small mistake, but it's very impactful. Forgiven gets taken down as Rainover re-engages with the Void Rush. He gets a knock-up onto Cabochon, and it's Reckless that gets a double kill. Fnatic with a 3-for-0.
You have to watch your pacing in these fight. Gambits just go one step too far. We said earlier, we want to see them go too aggressive rather than too defensive, but Fnatic finally punish it. Fight again, so incredibly close.
And with the death time as being 40 seconds, Fnatic have set their sights on the Nexus turrets. It looks like they can finally close this game out. Betsy, however, does land a charm. He's not done yet. It looks like he will be shortly, though, as he's gone in with the Spirit Rush. The rest of Fnatic focus down the turrets. They're focusing down the Nexus. And in week 2, 0-4 given. Gambit have lost all of their games, while Fnatic have won them all.
But Gambit didn't play like a bottom tier team right here. They didn't play like the 10th place team in the LCS.